We could administer that entire estate through a trust if that trust was properly funded without ever going through the probate process. If we think of a trust as a bucket that we can put assets into. We can put a house in there, or a checking account, a brokerage account, and upon our death, that entire bucket gets passed to our beneficiaries. That bucket will have a set of instructions for how those assets are managed, who will receive them, on what time frame they will receive them. Then when we pass, all of those assets could either get simply distributed outright to those beneficiaries, or that bucket could get passed along to them and distributed out of that bucket over a period of time. If we were to administer an estate outside of the probate process, we could do that possibly through a trust. We could administer that entire estate through a trust if that trust was properly funded without ever going through the probate process. We could administer that trust in the privacy of an attorney's office or in the privacy of your own home, as opposed to having to go through the probate process, which is a court-monitored process. If you have not funded your trust properly, the assets that you have outside of the trust will be distributed according to either state law, if you don't have a will in place, or those will be distributed according to what your will says. Now, generally, if it's professionally done, when you create a trust, you will most likely have a will that goes along with it that will direct residual assets that were not put into the trust, to be collected, gathered, and then pour those into the trust upon your death. The negative of doing it that way is those assets that were not placed into the trust before your death will ultimately need to be routed through the probate process, incurring time delays and added expense. If you have a properly funded trust and you don't have assets that are outside of the trust, then it is possible to totally avoid probate.
Check out our website for more information on wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, and more.